It's not Christmas, but the weather outside is frightful, and I'm indoors, so I thought I might as well take the opportunity to talk about the perfume I'm wearing today. So, this is just a tiny wee bottle of Ambar by Jesus del Pozo. So, this is a little miniature I got ages ago. I have to admit, I mainly just absolutely loved this bottle, but I didn't want to buy the full bottle without knowing what this smelled like because I can be a little bit fussy about amber. However, this one's also a tea perfume, so I was quite excited to try it. And I bought this little mini. I'm wearing it today. And I just wanted to talk to you about it because I do actually think this is one I'd like to add to my collection as a full bottle. And happily, it's not a very expensive perfume. You can get it for a really good price. And the big bottles are even more stunning than this little tiny baby. So the main accords that are listed for Ambar are citrus, aromatic, warm, spicy, woody, amber, powdery, iris, green, herbal and soft spicy. I guess I do kind of agree with that, but there's almost in a weird way something slightly watery about this, and not so much in an aquatic way, but very much in a watery tea. It's not at all strong. And it's not overwhelming. It definitely has that sweetness you get with a lot of amber perfumes, but it does have that citrusy vibe. It's also got a kind of herbal feel, and interestingly, it doesn't list having musk, but this almost feels like a musky tea perfume to me. So there's something very aromatic and comforting and easygoing about this one. It's not one that I was overwhelmed with. It's really light. I sprayed on quite a lot because I basically just poured this into a tiny sprayer because I don't like dabber bottles. Yeah, so you would have to cut. I think you'd have to reapply this quite a lot. I don't know whether in hotter weather because it's kind of mild today. It's not particularly warm, but it's also not cold. I think this might really shine in hotter weather and be a really beautiful and quite unusual summer amber. I've only ever really smelt another amber perfume that gives me this vibe, not because it smells the same, but just because it's a slightly transparent amber, which is not something I'm used to when I smell amber perfumes. And that is Twilight by Sarah Jessica Parker. That one I think is more powdery and sweeter than this, so it's a little bit more of a classic amber, but it does have a sheer quality to it the way that this one does. So the notes in Ambar are cardamom, tangerine and bergamot in the top. Middle notes are tea, iris and peony. And the base notes are amber, sage and Virginia cedar. And I just think this one is so pretty. I really am enjoying this one. I did really have the opportunity to put a different perfume on because it is quite light, so I thought, oh, I can easily, when this one wears off, just put something else on. But I just decided to carry on wearing this because I really do think it's pretty. It's pretty, I should say. I'm just going to have a look and see if this is supposed to be... It says it's for women, but I would say it's not that it's masculine, but I don't find it hugely feminine either. And generally things with sage in, I think, especially if there's like cardamom and that kind of thing, I do think it does smell a bit unisex. So the top comparison to this one is the male Diabolique from Eisenberg. I've had my eye on Eisenberg for a little while and I've not had the chance to try any of their perfumes yet, but there's a couple that I'd really like to try. And the female Diabolique is one of the ones that I'd like to try. But the male one in the darker bottle is the one that this is compared to. Although, as I said, I don't find this to be a massively masculine perfume. I think it's a really nice, easygoing unisex. What else have we got here? I think that's a YSL one. But there's a Prada, one of their infusions. It's kind of hard to see. There's nothing here that I know well enough really to talk about, and there's a lot of disagreement. But I do think that this is a very pretty, easy perfume. Someone else has described it as a refreshing tea and citrus for hot weather. I do think there is enough amber in this to be like, oh yeah, I mean, it is an amber perfume. But it's not the kind of amber perfume that people, I think, would expect from a perfume called Ambar, if you see what I mean. it has the kind of smell that you'd imagine with this sort of colour, but this transparent as well, this kind of see-through. It is a very pretty, sheer, herbal, slightly citrusy amber and tea perfume, and I really just think it's lovely. I did like it when I first got it, and every time I've kind of tried a little bit of it on, I've thought maybe I should get that full bottle. But doing a proper full all-day wear test today, I do feel like this is definitely full bottle worthy. I would highly recommend it, and I do think that at some point, if I can get this for a steal, I will definitely be adding this one to my collection.